You particularly wonderful people, get out of here with that beautiful face you got on you. Anyway, hello. So I picked up one of the new Switches. If you're not aware, it sort of flew under the radar. I mean, you probably heard of it, but so not the Switch Lite, but Nintendo just released a new kind of revised version of the Switch. The only difference, as far as I can tell, is just it's got a new chip in it, and the chip draws less power, so it drastically increases the battery life. The battery isn't big or anything; it just takes less power, so it's a lot more efficient. These models are coming in with a slightly different serial number and different packaging. So like, and this is just replacing the old Switch. Now when you go to the store, once they get through old stock, you get the ones with the new packaging. There's a lot more red on it, a lot better battery life. That's just kind of how the Switch is now. I wouldn't normally get this kind of thing. In fact, I've never done like a mid-generation upgrade, even when it was a pretty drastic upgrade. This is a pretty slight upgrade, actually. But I figure I'd do a video. You guys like videos, right? You guys come to my YouTube channel and watch some of my videos sometimes, right? So I thought, why not? And shout out to the dude at Target who was gracious enough to email me and let me know when they came in, because it was kind of awkward. Like, Nintendo didn't make a big thing out of it. They didn't announce it or anything. It was just kind of like, yeah, when the old stock of Switches goes out, we're just gonna kind of send in new ones. So you didn't really know which stores were gonna have them. It seemed like the West Coast was a little bit later than most other places, so I had to go to stores a few different times. But yeah, dude emailed me, tell me they came in, which is perfect. And I went in and got one. And you know what? I originally, with my original Switch, I preferred gray Joy-Cons. Just because I just liked them better. But now, like, after having that for a few years, I kind of wanted to change a pace, and I wanted color. I wanted the red and the blue, but they only had gray, and I probably could have just waited or, like, checked out more stores, but I really wanted to get it and you know, play it and get this video to you. I'll probably end up regretting it later, not being more patient, but I went with gray. Oh well, who cares? As another sort of aside, transferring was a little scary. I will say, like, I'm transferring all my save data and my whole just profile and my account and everything over the new Switch, and it failed like a bunch of times. Like, it kept losing connection to the internet or whatever. Like, just I had to do it for a while, and it was pretty scary. Just like, oh, it lost it. I hope it doesn't just delete everything, but I don't know. Seems they got fail saves and stuff for that. And I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. There was no adorable little animation. Like on when you change your Wii to your Wii U, there's a little animation where all the Pikmin take all your save data and run it to a little ship and blast it off to your Wii U. It was adorable. This was just a progress bar, and I was vastly disappointed. Anyway, let's actually get to the thing. I gotta tell you guys. This battery life is glorious. It is glorious. It's like twice as long as the old one. And I know I've mentioned this before. Like, I think my Switch might be a little on the lower end. I think there might be something slightly wrong with the battery because it like drains faster than it charges when I got it in the wall. And I can only get like 2 hours, maybe 2.5, depending on what I do. Some people say they get more. I don't know. That's been my experience with it, but this is really nice. This is a really surprisingly drastic increase. I wouldn't expect this much just from upgrading the chip, but apparently that's a really, really big deal. The very first thing I did with this thing when I charged it up was I played Fire Emblem for like 5 hours. I got a stopwatch and I kept track every time I like turned it on. Yeah, Fire Emblem for 5 hours, and that felt really, really good. That was the sort of thing I'd only get two and change before, so you know, about twice as much. It was really awesome. I'm just really, really surprised in how much it's increased. And of course, like I've said it before, most people feel this way. It's just like the regular Switch, the battery is not terrible. It's not a big problem. It's sort of like, it is the bare minimum. Like, it is on the verge of being inconvenient, you know, like 3 hours or whatever. It's like almost there, but it is at that minimum place where it's still perfectly usable. Most people have access to an outlet all the time, you know what I mean? Or you can get portable chargers or whatever. So like, it's fine. It totally gets the job done. You know, I've said it before and I maintain that. My Switch, it's not been a really big, huge problem keeping it charged, you know, but it is something that I do have to be aware of. It's something I've had to be aware of. You know, if I play it for a little bit and put it down and pick it up again, I'm gonna start playing and get the little beep and be like, you're at 15% or whatever. And this is just, it is, I'll say it is a great luxury. It is a luxury because it's not necessary by any means, but it's one of those things where when you have used that limitation for so long, when it's finally lifted in a significant amount, it's like, oh yeah. It's just like, whoa, this is really nice. It's nice to just not have to be so constantly on it. Cause yeah, like I said, like the original Switch, like it's fine, but you gotta keep it up. You gotta, like, whenever you're done with it, you gotta go plop it in the dock. If you're just playing on the couch or whatever, like that's what I do. I don't take it out as much as I just want to play it in the house in different places, but that's gonna be a relatively short playtime. Or, like I said, if I put it down and pick it back up again, I'm gonna have to charge it again. I have to find a wall outlet or something. This is nice because it's like closer to my phone now. Because my phone won't last that long if I'm like actively on it, doing something, playing a game, watching videos or something. Like that's not going to be more than like a few hours. It's sort of more like that though, where I can charge it at the beginning of the day, you know, take it out of the dock and I can like play it a bit, put it on the desk, pick it up later, play it some more, do all that, and then it'll be fine until like the end of the day when I put it back in the dock. And I very rarely reach that point where I get the little blip. And like, even when you do get the blip and you're at 15%, that's still a significant amount of playtime. Before, getting to 15% was like, finish up what you're doing, you know? Like, it's not like, you know, it's not gonna be off in like a minute, but you know, a good 15, 20 minutes or something, you know, finish up what you're doing, wrap up, or go find an outlet. This is like, it hits 15% and I can still play for like 45 minutes. It's pretty great. Like just when you break up the, you know, if it's a 5 or 6 hour battery or whatever, and that 15% is still a significant amount of time. And it's just that extra little bit of convenience that really makes the Switch that much more just kind of comfortable and fun to use. You just, it's kind of a weight off your mind. You don't have to be so on it. And I'm really glad I was able to just halfway justify getting this for a video. I hope. I don't actually know if it will end up being worth it or not. But whatever the case, it'll be super cool for trips. Cause like the last trip I went on, like I usually have a hard time. Like, I don't know, I end up, like if I go on a plane, I just want to stare out the window and I never end up using my Switch. But like I finally, when I went to Philly, I just played Stardew Valley the whole way there and the whole way back. And it was super awesome. But of course I had to deal with the fact that, like, you know, my thing wouldn't charge super well, or I'd have to have it connected to the big battery all the time, or I'd have to charge it between flights. I'd have to go and find a wall outlet or something in the airport. So this is like really cool because this is way more likely to actually last me, you know, like there's usually at least one like 4-hour flight on there or something if I'm flying across the country. So it's just like, oh, no problem at all. Won't be a single problem. And so that's really nice. It's really nice just to have the option that when I know I am traveling and I am going to be away from outlets and I don't want to lug around my battery, I have that option. I don't have to worry about it. And I can tend to my giant pumpkin farm and collect my hundreds and hundreds of truffles as much as I need to do. And of course, you do come to the question, is it worth making the upgrade? Like if you don't have to, like if you already have a Switch, is it worth upgrading? And I think like most people can answer this question themselves. Obviously, I can't tell you this, but you know, the majority of people are going to be like, no, it's not a Switch Pro. There's no performance boost or anything like that. I don't think. It's really just a longer battery life. It's a luxury. But it's, you know, is it really that worth it? I'm sure if someone's like, I don't know, you got a lot of extra expendable income and you are willing to pay for this kind of luxury, then maybe, like, again, that's up to you. Or like maybe if you somehow had a friend who was like, you could sell your original to for like $250 or something. That seems really unlikely because you just pay $50 more to get a brand new Switch with a way better battery. But if that somehow happened, if you could somehow get a better price for your old Switch or something. But overall, yeah, like really the only reason I did it is because I can make a video and talk to you guys about it. Otherwise, I probably would not have. It is not, and especially with like, that's another question you got to ask is even if you are willing to pay extra for the luxury, what if they come out with like a Switch Pro or something next year? Like that's the thing. We got the Switch Lite this year. There's no guarantee at all. There's no, like, I think most of the really strong rumors were for the Switch Lite. I'm not 100% sure like how strong the Switch quote unquote Pro is. Like if that's really gonna happen, maybe it won't. Maybe it will be next year. Maybe it'll be 2 or 3 years from now. I don't know, but that is something to consider, because like that's one I really do want. I still don't know if I would do it if I didn't have a channel because I'm a cheapskate, but that's one that I'm really looking forward to, is some sort of actually fully upgraded Switch. It's more powerful and everything. This is not that. So yeah, you kind of have to kind of weigh that. Is that going to come next year? We don't really know. I don't know. But of course, like, this is great for people who are looking to get a new Switch, who don't have a Switch and are looking to get one. Like, it's pretty great that now you just go to the store and the basic one that you buy, it just has a way better battery life. And even in that case, you still have to be like, do I want to wait for a Switch Pro? If you've already waited this long, is it going to be that hard to wait for another year? I don't know. I will say I'm a little surprised that Nintendo isn't advertising this more. It's pretty under the radar. It's just kind of replacing the old models. So they're not like doing a big shout out. And I sort of get that they want to, like, maybe they want to get rid of the old stock first, because they don't want to be advertising a thing and people don't want to buy the old thing. That creates a lot of weird confusion and stuff. Maybe they'll start advertising it, but it's a little weird that they're not, because it's just such a good selling point. Like, I don't know how many people this would be, but I'm sure there's some people who are like, the Switch looks great, but I only want to play handheld, and two and a half hours or whatever, doesn't really do it. So, whoa, like 5 hours, 6 hours if I'm playing like a pretty simple game? I don't know. It's a good selling point, so I feel like they should be talking it up or something. I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe they're just not right now. Maybe they will at some point. I will say it's a little disappointing that the Switch Lite doesn't have a better battery. Is it just not using the new chip or something? I'm not really sure, because the battery is probably the same, unless it is a smaller battery to fit inside the thing, and it is using the better chip, so it's a smaller battery, but more efficient, so it kind of evens out into like a little tiny bit of a boost. I don't know. That would have been really cool, though, and another really good selling point for the Switch Lite. Be like, hey, it's handheld only, and also it'll play for 5 hours. Would have been pretty cool, but unfortunately it's not. So those are my thoughts on the new Switch, the version 2 Switch, new Switch. I don't know exactly what you call it. It like kind of doesn't even quite deserve a name exactly. I don't know. Version 2 is really just like the best one. Those are my thoughts. It's pretty neato. If you are in a situation where you can pick one up, you're gonna really enjoy the better battery life. Otherwise, just, you know, stick around wall outlets or get an external battery. I even have a video of I did a review of like a big fat Aukey 30,000 milliamp battery, and you can charge your Switch like 100,000 times on that thing. So, so if you want to spend some money to get it to improve your battery life, you could also just do that. Get an external battery. Quick note before I go, if you're still listening to this, I'm going to be at the time of this video, you could be watching this later and this is outdated, whatever. If you look at the date and you see that this video was fairly recent, this weekend I'm going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm going to visit some family, and I'm also going to see Game Grumps live. And because it's the last show of their current format, and I never have gotten to see them. So I'm going to go see that. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to do like a little fan meetup kind of thing. Like super simple. Not like a Arlo-Palooza or anything. It literally just like probably go to the park. Probably just go to a park and just kind of hang out and meet people for a couple hours. Probably not even, I wouldn't bring my Switch. I probably wouldn't be like playing games or anything. Just kind of hanging out, meeting people. So I don't know the exact details yet. Twitter. Check out my Twitter. I'm going to be making an announcement, hopefully a couple times about it. So if you're listening to this, I'm sorry if you don't have a Twitter, but I don't have the details now. They're going to be on Twitter. Go check my Twitter to find out details about this weekend of August, something or other. Meet up in Nashville, Tennessee at the park or something. It's going to be cool. I hope you can be there. Thank you for watching. I love you so much. And I saw Weird Al last night, and it was so cool. Just thought I'd tell you. Just thought I'd add that in there. See you later. Bye.